Kissinger was a war criminal or the greatest diplomat ever. He was a smart man, regardless of what you think. And he was a fairly ugly man, quite frankly, but it's indisputable that he was a ladies' man. Oh yeah. Yeah, in the 60s and 70s, Henry Kissinger was quite the ladies' man, and he got really decent trim. Yeah, all kinds of decent trim, which is really surprising if you think about it. But he said something that was so true, that explained why he was so successful with women, so successful with these hot women. He said that power is the ultimate aphrodisiac. I'm here to tell you it's true. I've come across a lot of men who are fairly powerful, and the women flock to him. They just flock to him like pigeons to grain in the park. They just couldn't get enough of the guy, no matter how ugly he was, no matter how socially maladapted the guy was. If he was powerful in a way that they recognized, women wanted to be around him, and hot women, yeah? And that's the point. That's the point that so many guys in the so-called, manosphere, among MGTOW and among the black pillars and all these foolish people, they keep insisting that a guy's looks are what matter. They do not matter. No, they don't. The only thing that matters is how powerful you are in the world. Now, when I say how powerful you are in the world, I don't mean that you have to be some like global leader or secretary of state or something like that. No, I'm saying that in the environment in which you move in, you have to show that you have a degree of weight, that you carry weight in that world, that you can influence things. And people will respond to that, and especially women will respond to that. Even if it's in a world that the woman doesn't quite understand or even isn't even aware of, okay, or has no access to, she can sense it, because there's something true that has to be said. Men who are confident in their position in a particular environment, they project out into the world a certain degree of confidence that women can tune into, like a radio, and they can catch it and they sense it and they know exactly what kind of a man they are dealing with by that vibe that he gives out, a vibe that he really doesn't have any control over. It's the weirdest thing, but it's something noticeable. Yeah, guys who are more observant will probably have noticed it themselves. See, there are men who are extremely successful, but they don't make a big show about it. They don't make a big to-do about it. They're not dressed in flashy clothes or anything like that, or a big watch or some, hideous Rolex or something like that. No, they're just in very casual clothes, no big deal, nothing special, maybe not even particularly well-groomed, quite frankly. But there is like this aura, the sense of confidence, the sense of control that people recognize, that a guy might recognize who's observing this guy. I mean, that's my case. There have been cases where I've met men that I thought to myself, there's more here than meets the eye. The guy is a heavyweight in whatever it is that he's doing. He might look like a short little guy and a little bit pudgy, but there's something going on here, and yep, before you knew it, it turned out that he was a big wheel in whatever business, very rich or very powerful or both. And, you sense it. And see, women, they are incredibly attuned to this. Women sense a guy who's powerful, and more to the point, they sense a guy who isn't. A woman can sense instantly a guy who's faking confidence, who's faking status in the world, okay? Who's faking the fact that he has something when he really doesn't. And so many men do this. They buy expensive clothes. They groom themselves and try to look just right, okay? They buy stuff, cars, this, that, to project out into the world something that they really aren't. Yet the guys who really have it, they don't need to buy any crap. They don't need to buy any of this garbage to pretend to be something that they aren't, because they are this thing. And women recognize it. And that's the point. The point of this video, and the point that you should be focused on. Don't think about showing off stuff. Don't think about getting flashy clothes and focusing on that. That's stupid. No, you should be focusing on gaining power. You gain power and the women come to you. I mean, hell, in Scarface, Tony Montana said it best, first you get the money, then you get the power, and then you get the women. That is the lesson. That is a truism. That's it. See? You get the money, but the money in and of itself is irrelevant. What's really important is the money is a signifier as to who you are within your particular milieu, your particular social set, be it work environment or career or whatever. And women sense it. They have to sense it, of course, because, see, men are very good at faking it. And so, since they're good at faking high status, women, from an evolutionary perspective, have had to create mechanisms for them to tear through this fakery and realize if the guy is really a big deal or if he's just pretending. See? Men don't have the same problem because, see, women's evolutionary health is shown by their looks. A woman's looks denotes their evolutionary health, their genetic health, and their physical health. Long hair denotes the fact that a woman hasn't been ill for at least a couple of years. You know, symmetrical face, it shows that she doesn't have any kind of genetic defect, right? Nice hourglass figure, it denotes the fact that, number one, she's got good breasts which will be able to feed a child, and nice wide hips, whereby she'll be able to have a child. You see, all these are signals that a man can perceive just by looking at a woman. But a woman, when she looks at a man, well, the man can fake it. The man can pretend to be a rich big wheel by way of the clothes that he buys that aren't that expensive, or maybe the car that he has that maybe even rented or leased. She has to tear through all of those disguises that guys use to prop themselves up. See? And that's why women are so highly attuned to the guy who is truly powerful. That's why Henry Kissinger got laid as often as he did back in the 60s and 70s. Yeah, because ugly as he was really powerful. National Security Advisor, and then later Secretary of State. He was truly powerful, and women sense that. Don't aim to become a pretty boy. Aim to become Henry Kissinger. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I have over 150 videos on Patreon that you'll find nowhere else. And on Patreon, I'm able to talk about these subjects and a lot of other more interesting subjects too, in a great deal more depth and also in a great deal more frankness than on YouTube, because YouTube is censoring videos, quite frankly. But on Patreon, I can say whatever I want. So please go check out Patreon. Link is in the description below. Thank you so much, and I will catch you next time.